Welcome to Horror Movies and Beyond, a show about reviewing horror movies for the living to understand the dead. And I'm your host, Ivotres Littles, and I'm here with two amazing guests, executive producer Chris Gierowski and director Doug Hawley, to talk about their kick-ass horror short film / proof of concept, Sweetest Day. Thank you for joining me, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for allowing me to see this. This was pretty awesome. It was like Afro Samurai / slasher. I mean, it was just yes, I've never seen anything like that. So I was like, I gotta talk to these guys. I gotta see what's going on with this, where it come from, and why.
Right on.
So let's get right into it. This Sweetest Day Ripper, and this woman, I mean, she was amazing in here. I mean, just a small part of what this is a proof of concept. So this is going to be like a feature.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
That is the goal. It will get there. We have to. Yes, it has to, because it's so awesome. So where did this idea come from?
A lot of different places, I guess. The story I like to tell, I was once in a thrift store. I was looking at old VHSs, and you will see this at pretty much any thrift store you go into, but there was a Bruce Lee movie next to a Friday the 13th movie, next to a Rocky movie. And I kind of saw those three things together, and I thought, in my mind, that's like a s'more. You know, I was like, that's tasty. So that was part of it. I think another influence was what was going on in the media at the time when I was writing. So that was certainly a part of it. And from there, I just started letting my mind run, and I kind of started fantasizing about a hero. So I love slasher movies and I love horror movies, but a lot of times it's just they end in either nobody or one person's left standing at the climax. And I wanted something that was maybe a little bit different, and I thought maybe melding genres was the way to go.
Okay. How did you get involved in this project, Chris?
Well, Doug and I went to college together. So that's how we know each other from way back when at the University of Toledo. And then when I moved out here to LA, he had a short film that he was working on that I ended up executive producing called Curse World Problems. So we kind of first worked together on that, and then we were like, all right, let's see what we have next on the docket. And so he had this as a feature, and so we said, all right, let's see what we can do.
Okay. Very simple, straight to the point. That's always good. But yeah, so this short film / proof of concept. So this is something they want to take to make as a feature film. And I know they will. I know it will get there. What I was getting was about a woman who got brutally attacked, and she survived. And she was just going through the motions. I mean, she was taking meds. She was fearful. She was just I would feel that way too after being attacked. And it seemed like one day she was watching something on TV and decided, you know what, I need to take care of myself. I need to change this behavior, start doing something different. And she got into martial arts, training, and to prepare herself for if she comes across this killer or anything like that. And that right there was completely cool, because you saw her get ready, get into the motions and stuff like that. And it just turned into this Afro Samurai slasher that I was like, I've never seen this before. I never seen it come together in a horror, something like that, and which I thought was really cool. I really liked the girl played Mindy. She's badass. Where'd you find her? What?
Yeah, actually, we met through mutual friends. That short film that Chris and I had previously collaborated on, she starred in.
Mhm.
And when the ideas came together for Sweetest Day, I basically wrote it for her. Her name's Gierowshi. Tremendous person, beyond talented. So I wrote about 30 pages of the script and I handed it to her and I said, this is yours if you want it. It's kind of bonkers and strange, but let me know what you think. She said, no, I'm with it. And I said, all right, let's get you, we're talking about someone who's never thrown a punch before or swung a sword. So
Really?
From that point on, it was like, all right, we got her working with a trainer and got her up to speed. So she looked like, A, she knew what she was doing, and B, she wouldn't harm herself or anyone else.
So the look of her, like
Mhm.
the whole look of the afro, the little braids, the outfit, like
Right.
how was that influenced?
I sat down with Duray and I sat down with our wardrobe person, and I just started talking about, I had an idea, maybe what is the contemporary, I'm going to grab something and be a samurai look kind of contain. And then as far as what Duray looked, her own look, I said, at the time she was wearing a lot of wigs, and in previous scenes, her character was wearing wigs. So I just said, look, you do what you got to do. That scene in the movie, there's a shot where she comes walking down the street and she's ready to go kick ass. I just said, you look how you want to look, just as long as you feel like you can take on the world. And she stepped out in that wardrobe with her hair done like that. And I said, yeah, let's go. And that was it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was,
And
it was really her. It was really, I had some notes, but it was kind of her, she was in the driver's seat there.
Oh, it matched perfectly because you could see the transition from one character to another. Like she was, going through it after being attacked, and then you saw her train, and then when she did come down the street, she was ready. Like you saw it, the intensity in her eyes. It was as if at this point, it's not like she didn't care, but I think she didn't sweat the small stuff. It was about survival.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw that, and she played them both characters well. I was like, oh, okay, all right. It's like I feel like she would be like the new person that you would want to follow, an inspiration. Like she did not give up. I think there's a message clear in that, and I really do respect that. I love that.
Thank you. I love to hear it. Wow. Thank you.
The look of villain, monster, killer, whatever you want to put in, the look of that, where did that come from? Because I was getting colonial. I was getting
absolutely. Yeah, he's
okay.
He's an undead Confederate. And so when that started kind of percolating, I guess the first image was I have from like a history book, some Confederate asshole on a horse with that long saber. And I thought, okay, well there's our villain, there's our climax, there's the fight. Off the top of my head, I can't think of another slasher killer whose primary weapon is a sword like that. So that was one reason. Also, it looked good in the end climax. His mask is that of a vampire because I thought a bloodsucker was appropriate imagery for his character. Mm-hmm. So that's where I went with vampire. Also, Sweetest Day is an actual holiday in the Midwest. It's kind of a regional thing. It takes place in October. So I also wanted to use kind of classic Halloween iconography. So there is the vampire look.
Ooh. Now that you say that, it reminds me of BioShock Infinite. I don't know if you ever played that game, but they have colonial murderous monsters where they come out of nowhere and attack you. And it's so scary because they're kind of mechanical.
Okay.
at the same time. And so as soon as I saw it, it reminded me of that. See, I played too many video games.
Well, I wonder, back to video games, maybe there's that sequence in Ghostbusters, the video game, in the museum, where it's like all the Civil War ghosts. So maybe that was floating around in my head.
but that's good though, because it was like familiar. It's like, sure. Okay, I get where this is going, and that's a good thing. That's a there's many references that could have been taken from, but that reminded me because they were scary. Those mechanical Confederate. I mean, yeah, George Washington. I mean, they were coming out and they just bust out and just attack you, and you're like, okay, sorry, I got carried away. But that's pretty cool. So the location. So I really love the imagery, especially when she was outside, and also when she was training. Like where was this all like filmed at? Because it was just really
was
cool.
in and around LA.
It was. Oh
yeah. So like I think the where she's training, that was a tennis court in someone's backyard. I think it was up in Northridge, right? Or somewhere.
I believe so.
Yeah, and then was it Sylmar where we did the one shot, the fight at the end? It was north of North Hollywood.
Sun Valley,
I think. Yeah. So we that whole sequence was shot there, and then in or around the neighborhoods, and now the story takes place in Ohio, or back in the Midwest. So obviously there's palm trees out here, but again, it's proof of concept. So,
well, hey, my thinking was if John Carpenter can make Haddonfield, Illinois, out of like Pasadena, then we'll be fine as long as we avoid the palm trees.
Wow. Okay. But I really did love the imagery. I mean, it just speaks so much. What movie was that? Was that an actual? Were those actors too, or was that from a reference from a movie?
Oh, the martial arts film she's watching.
Yeah, the kung fu.
We went off and shot that with actors in one of the canyons here.
Tree people.
Yeah, that's the organization that was making sure it didn't catch fire. But
it's like Mulholland and Coldwater, I think.
Basically up in there. We got a sweet deal where we went up there for a day. We grabbed all these actors and we kind of made like a little martial arts movie, and we used vintage camera lens, this old zoom lens, to give it like that sort of old look, and then later we kind of made it look a little bit more VHS like, and dulled it down. But yeah, we went and shot that movie within the movie. We actually called it Miss Ninja.
and if you pay attention at the beginning when she's watching it, she's wearing a Miss Ninja shirt. It's her favorite movie. Little Easter egg.
You know what I really did like was when she was the transition from her doing tennis, because she didn't have a weapon. I assume she was using that to practice swinging and moving.
Exactly.
Right. that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she gets, to get help, like, hey, I know a place that if you want this specific training. I like that when she was fighting that colonial monster, that she still was unsure. Like when it first began, because like now she's facing it, and so she's hitting, but it's still like knocking her a little bit, like, okay, this is like, he's a little bit more powerful. And then but then you could still see that she was fearless. Like she still wasn't running away. Like she was fighting it. And that sends a powerful message, especially with Black women. I mean, this would target quite a bit, big audience, all the way around. And watching that's a good thing. Not running away, especially from something bigger than you that attack you, and you stand up and fight. do what you can. And then she just didn't sit at home and take pills and just like, okay, when he shows up, let me just do what I can. She trained for herself to get better but it also prepared her for when he shows up. So I think there's definitely really good messages in here, and I respect that, and I just love that.
Thank you so much. That sounds great.
But that colonial guy is scary. Whatever the monster, that is genius. I've never seen something like that, especially. I hate to get like deep because
go deep.
To have a villain like that, and she's a person of color, just that is a deep fight. That's more than what we're seeing, because obviously he's not just coming after her because she is of color, but then you see him attack other people, slicing the throat, the slam, like other people are involved, but she's the one that's fighting back and not giving up, and I love that. That's awesome.
Cheers.
So when you do the proof of concept, the actors that are in that, will they transition over to the feature, or is it just to show what the story is about?
I wrote it and made it with the intention of making it with these people. So like I said, I wrote the script for DeRay in mind with the lead. And again, I totally in love with the cast. There's other characters that you don't see in the proof of concept version that we still need to fill in. But as it goes right now, everyone that's in it, I would love to transition over into the feature version.
Well, I definitely hope that this gets somewhere fast, because it's fresh, it's new. Haven't seen anything like that. That character or monster, whatever, that is scary. Especially there's just so much writing on this. Like, I want to see this on screen. People like myself could see something like that, and giving someone like her an opportunity, to play a character that has never been seen before. She had so much, thought process in the character. Like, you guys are sitting down and she just walked out and it was like, bam. Was any of the direction coming from you, or she just knew this is how this character should be at this point of transitioning from where she was?
That's a good question, because she was the first person I would hand script pages to. She's as fun to work with as she is to watch, for sure.
Yeah, she definitely was. Would this be more of a slasher, or you want the combination of the whole martial arts, or is that something like halfway? Because as we're watching it, you see the process, and then the last minute or so, she's just this badass samurai. But is it something like halfway? It would be like martial and slasher. Are we going to see more gore? Like, what would you? I know not too much information you want to give out, but
it's fine. I wish I had a better answer for you. I never really sort of drew the lines at, like, we're this much of a slasher movie and this much of that, and a pinch of funny here, and I maybe I should, though, honestly. I should really put a little more thought.
Well, there was some humor in it. There was something she was saying was definitely humor, but I was just, as a viewer watching this, I guess maybe I'm trying to say it because I'm not a big fan of slashers. I love slashers, but I'm not like, I have to watch a slasher. I'm not a fan of anything. I just love everything. Not a specific fan on something. Because I was just curious, because I could see it as a slasher, and then I could see it as a drama horror. I could see it like this gory gut, like just really just ripping guts out. Like, he is just brutal. Like, there's so many ways you could play with that. And I was just curious of your vision. Like, where do you see You know, are we getting Bruce Lee type going on in there? We having, you know, Kill Bill meets, you know, Jason.
Yeah. No,
you know what I mean? Like
the elevator pitch we love is Kill Bill meets Halloween.
Yeah.
So
you know, I would buy it. I'd be like, here, take my money.
good. Yeah, that's what we're hoping. Wow. Yeah. I all those things. I really think of it as like a cinematic s'more. So I want my chocolate, my marshmallow, my graham cracker, you know, and I don't know, maybe I want a little more marshmallow than graham cracker, but it'll be tasty, I can promise you.
Satisfy those taste buds, man.
For sure.
Yeah, well, the more you satisfy, the more elements you know put in there, as long as it's cohesive, you get such a wide audience. You know, people of color, oh man, did you see she was badass, she was kicking that ass? And then you got the slasher, oh man, I want to see guts hanging. You know, you have those, and then you have what, man, the move she was doing is pretty cool. Hiya! I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean,
it's never been seen before. I mean, you have something that has not visually been seen, and I just, you know, I'm just curious. You know, I know it's a secret. You know, you got to polish it and get it out there, and it's like, oh shit, you know. I interviewed those guys. But I think you have something here.
Wow, thank you.
Appreciate that.
So I mean, I hope you get all the money somewhere. So give them all the money. We need a Afro samurai slasher, you know, bludgeon killer out there. We need her. We need everything.
The structure of the movie, which it's really just kind of a basic 3-act kind of movie, I was off and running. And once I had my hero and what she was going to do and what she needed to do, it was fun to write. That's really the best, because it's often, you know, everyone will tell you how much it sucks sitting there trying to hammer something out. But like when you have it, I mean, I couldn't type fast enough. Mm-hmm. You know, that was it. So the challenge was just getting it all down, making it make sense, and, you know, making something good enough for, you know, your collaborators to say, all right, yeah, let's go.
Okay. So Chris, how much influence did you have in him writing and making this? Like far as like tweaking or anything like that?
Not much. I mean, everything he gave me, I enjoyed. I like to have the creatives kind of just do what they want, you know, just give them creative control. And then when we discussed, you know, trying to find funding, you know, we were like, okay, you know, sometimes people will take clips from like already established movies and say, this is kind of what I want to do. And we were like, well, let's go the extra mile. Let's shoot so we can show our style. Let's pick the key scenes so we can make, you know, a cohesive, you know, proof of concept. So like people can see like, okay, it goes from here, here's our style. And it took like a year to get just even shot to get those parts together. Would you say, Doug? About a year to kind of get piece by piece?
I wouldn't say a year in the shooting, but
year in editing.
Once the script was kind of at a place where I was showing it around, DeRay started training for about a year in martial arts.
Really?
Yeah. So I would say a year from once we really started and started getting her up to speed to when we actually shot.
Oh wow. So she was ready. She was really kicking ass.
Yeah.
Oh wow. That is awesome. That's dedication.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
She went above and beyond, really. Absolutely.
I love the silhouette when she was like finna get ready to look for that monster thing. That thing scares me. I don't like that colonial.
Good, yeah.
Because it's something specific. You know, it's you know who they are, what they want, and as a monster, come on.
To me, I mean, you know, monsters are real. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's a message there too. And then I love when she was outside in that the sunset, and she like turned and looked, and then her hair was afro. I was like, this girl's badass. I love that. I'm gonna have that as a screensaver to remind me to get my ass up and do what I gotta do, because that's what she did.
Right on.
Whatever you like, this film got it, but it makes sense, and it's fun, and it's serious, and there's humor, and it's just, you could tell love and passion of slasher movies and even martial arts. I love that stuff too. It's just everything. It's like 80s just came out.
Yes.
right off the covers, and just like started battling all together. It's great.
Thank you.
That's a very high compliment. We appreciate that.
Thanks. So from like right now, what is this is going? Like, where is the next step that you're going as of right now?
If we get everything lined up, ideally we would like to shoot in the fall of this year. If not, we're going to push ahead and try for the spring, but we may all our ducks may line up, or whatever that stupid phrase is. All our ducks in a row. So that's where we are right now. So we're still shopping it around privately, looking for investors, and like Chris was talking about, opening it up to other people to come on board with us and be a part of this movie.
And we're also like trying to get it out in festivals too, to get more eyes on it. And so it's already played in, I think, 3 festivals.
Right. We premiered at Joe Bob Briggs's Mutant Fest over the summer.
Oh,
And
wow.
then we recently won Best Horror Film at the South Georgia Film Festival. So our campaign has begun. Chris and I are champagning and campaigning for sure.
Well, I wish you guys both the best, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see this. It's going to be on the big screen. You got to feel that. I feel the energy from that. It's awesome. So, but thank you guys so much for being here today. And if you guys like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and don't forget to comment, share it. And I'm going to put these guys' information down below so you can find them, contribute, whatever. We need this film out there. It's amazing. So thank you guys so much, and till next time.